Happy New Year, everyone. You're welcome back. It has been a long break. We're back again to our online class. Today, we are going to look at variation. We are going to discuss variation as a topic in mathematics. But first thing first, if this is the first time you are bumping into our video or you've been watching without subscription, please try to subscribe and turn on the notification so that when we get other videos, you will have access to them. Thank you. So, look at variation. What is variation? Variation is an English word anyway, but used in mathematics to describe how the change in one quantity affects another quantity. That is, the relationship between two or more quantities. How, if one changes, the impact it is going to create on the other, the kind of change it is going to cause on the other. So that's what we're going to look at. We have four basic types of variation. We have direct variation, we have inverse variation, we have joint variation, and we have partial variation. Direct variation is what we're going to discuss now. We're going to take it gradually. Later we'll look at inverse, we'll look at joint, and then partial variation. What is direct variation? Direct variation is simply the direct relationship between two or more quantities. That the increase in one quantity leads to the increase in the other, or decrease in one quantity leads to the decrease in the other. That the other one increases, it causes the other to increase. And it is represented by, when you say x varies directly as y, it simply means x is proportional to y. Use this proportionality sign to represent the direct variation. You see that x is proportional to y. And we don't solve mathematics with proportionality sign. We always use an equality sign. So that when this proportionality sign is changed to an equality sign, a constant is introduced and it becomes like this. X is directly proportional to y, or x varies directly as y. This is how it is represented. Remember, this constant must not be k. Some can decide to use c. It could be x equal to cy, but there must be a constant when the proportionality sign is replaced with an equality sign. So that is direct variation. We'll look at few examples under direct variation and see what we are expected to do. Okay? If you look at this question that says, if y proportional to x and y equals 10, when x is 1/2, find the equation connecting them. Also find x if y is 35. And I said this is what we use to solve that. You write y, solution first, is proportional to x. And when you remove the proportionality sign, you introduce an equality sign and a constant, kx. And they said that when y is 10, x is 1/2. That means that y is 10 equals k times x is 1/2. So this is how we solve it. Then we try to find k, the constant. And what do? We have 10 equals k times 1 is k/2, and we cross multiply. K times, of course, this is all over 1. K times 1 is k equals 10 times 2, and that will give us that k equals 20. Okay, but it is not k we were asked to find. It said find the equation connecting them. But these are the steps we have to take. First of all, find the constant, then substitute the constant in the original relation. This is what we call the equation connecting them. So this is what we call the equation connecting them. Then you substitute that k here so that y equals 20x. So this is the equation that we were asked to find. So that whatever x is, if you substitute here, you will get the equivalence of y. Whatever y is, you substitute here, you get x. So this is the relationship in this particular question. So this is how x and y are related. So any increase in this will cause an increase in this dependent on this 20, which is a constant. So they now went further to say find x if y is 35. So we'll say when y is 35, we have 35 equal to 20x. And of course, 20x will be equal to 35. And we will have to divide both sides of the equation by 20 so that we will find x. So x is equal to 35 over 20. Therefore, x is equal to 7 over 4. That is what? One whole number 3 over 4. That is it. So in variation, what we will do is to first of all change if a proportionality sign to equality sign, as I said, whether direct, inverse, or whatever. Change it to equality sign and introduce a constant. When you do that, substitute, you will be given a value for the two variables, x and y. It could be any letter. When you substitute the two variables, you find a constant. And then you substitute the constant on the original equation after you have changed the proportionality sign to equality sign. That will give you the general equation that will be used to solve any other question that will come afterwards. They can decide to add another and say find y when x is that, and that is how it is done. Okay, let's look at one other question. Another direct variation question. If y varies directly as square root of m, not just m, so we are going to say y proportional to root m. Okay, and y is 9 when m is 9. That means I always like to represent it. Y1 is 9, m1 is 9. Okay, then find y when m is 1 over 7 over 9. So find y2 when m2 is 1 whole number 7 over 9. So when y is this, m is this. What will be y when m is this? You see here, there was nothing like find k. There was nothing like find the equation connecting them. But we cannot solve this without finding the equation connecting them. So what we are going to do is to first of all do what? Find the equation connecting them by using this variation. So I said when you remove the proportionality sign, you introduce an equality sign and introduce a constant k. So we have y is equal to k root m, square root of m. Okay, then when y is 9, we substitute y as 9 equals k root m will be what? 9 as well. So we find k. That means that we are going to have 9 equals k times the square root of 9 is 3. And then we have 9 equals 3k. 3 times k is 3k. That means 3k is also equal to 9. And we divide both sides by 3. So that k equals 3. So if we've gotten the constant to be this, I said the next step is to substitute on the original relationship. So y is going to be equal to 3 root m. This is the formula or the equation connecting them. Then you now go back to the question and look for other values given in order to find whatever you want to find. Then they said find y when m is 1 whole number 7 over 9. M is 1 whole number 7 over 9. So m2 is 1 whole number 7 over 9. We are going to change it to improper fraction because you can use mixed fraction. 1 times 9 is 9 plus 7 is 16 over 9. So m is 16 over 9. Therefore, y will be equal to 3 root 16 over 9. And then y equal to 3 times root 16 is 4. Root 9 is 3. And of course, 3 we cancel 3 and y will be equal to 4. You see how that is done? That it's almost the same thing with the first one we saw. Change the proportionality sign to equality sign and introduce a constant. Substitute the first values given of y and m so that you will find the constant, which we've done. Then substitute the constant on the equation after you've changed the proportionality sign to equality sign. And then that will give you the relation that you can use to solve any other question that comes after you have gotten to this point. That means if you are given y, you substitute y and find m. If you are given m, you substitute m and find y. So that is how direct variation is solved. In our next video, we'll look at inverse variation. God bless you.